Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English on the Way, the fun and easy way to learn English. I'm Charles.
And I'm Rachel. Hi, everyone. We are so happy to see you. Well, to have you listening to us again today.
Yes, we are. Today is a very special day because we're talking about something that can change everything for you.
It really can. But before we dive into this amazing topic, please take a second to like this video.
Exactly. It helps our channel grow and reach more people who want to learn English just like you.
And if you haven't yet, click that subscribe button. We have new conversations every single week to help you improve step by step.
Sharing is caring, too. If you have a friend who is struggling to speak, send them this episode. We want to help everyone feel confident.
Okay, Charles, I'm so excited. What are we talking about today?
Today, we are talking about the English muscle.
The English muscle? Is that in the arm?
Not exactly. It's in your brain and in your mouth. We are talking about how to train your brain to think in English and your mouth to speak it without fear.
Oh, that is so important. So many students know the grammar, they know the words, but when they open their mouth, nothing comes out.
I know that feeling. It's like a wall, right? You want to say something, but your brain is stuck in your first language.
It's frustrating. I remember when I was learning a new language, I felt like a child. I had all these big ideas in my head, but I could only say, I like bread.
That's exactly it. We want to help you move past that. We want to help you build a highway in your brain where English flows fast.
I love that idea, an English highway. So how do we start building it? What is the first step?
The first step is something called shadowing. Have you heard of it, Rachel?
Shadowing? Like a shadow that follows you on a sunny day?
Exactly. You follow a speaker. You listen to a sentence in English and you say it at the same time as the speaker, not after, but with them.
Oh, so you are like a mirror for their voice?
Yes, you copy their speed, their rhythm, and even their emotion. If they sound happy, you sound happy. If they sound surprised, you sound surprised.
That sounds fun. But why does it help?
Because speaking English is not just about words, it's about the music of the language. When you shadow, you train your mouth muscles to move in new ways.
That makes sense. Our mouths are used to the sounds of our own language. English has different sounds, like the TH or the R.
Exactly. Your mouth needs to go to the gym, and shadowing is the best exercise.
So, if I listen to this podcast, I can try to speak at the same time as you?
Yes. Try to copy how I say, "Hello, everyone." Try to feel the music in the sentence.
I think I will try that today. It's like singing along to a song, but with a conversation.
It really is, and it helps your brain stop translating. When you speak fast with someone else, you don't have time to translate in your head.
That's a great tip, Charles. No time to translate means you are thinking in English. Okay, so shadowing helps the mouth. But what about the brain? Sometimes my brain feels so slow when I try to find a word.
That's because we usually learn words one by one, like table, chair, eat.
Right, and then we try to build a house with those small bricks.
Exactly, but it's much better to learn chunks.
Chunks? Like pieces of chocolate?
Well, yes, big pieces of language. Instead of learning the word would and like and to, you learn the chunk I would like to.
Ah, I see. So when I want to order a coffee, I don't think about grammar. I just grab that big chunk from my brain and say it.
Exactly. I would like to is one piece. How's it going is one piece. By the way is one piece.
This is so much easier. It's like having a kit of tools already made. You don't have to build the hammer every time you need to hit a nail.
That's a perfect example, Rachel. When you learn chunks, your brain becomes much faster. You aren't building sentences, you are just picking them up.
I remember when I started doing this, I stopped worrying about, am I using the right tense? And I just started using the phrases I heard in movies.
And that's when you started sounding natural, right?
Yes, people started saying, wow, your English is so smooth. And I thought, I'm just using my chunks.
It's a secret weapon, truly. But there is another thing we need to talk about, the fear.
Oh, the big monster, the fear of making a mistake.
It's the biggest wall for every learner. People are so afraid of saying something wrong that they don't say anything at all.
I know. I used to be so quiet in meetings because I was afraid of using the wrong preposition.
But here's the truth. Mistakes are the only way to the highway.
That's a deep thought, Charles. Tell me more.
If you don't make mistakes, you aren't pushing your brain. It's like lifting weights. If the weight is too light, your muscle doesn't grow.
So a mistake is like a heavy weight? It means my brain is working?
Yes. When you make a mistake and you realize it or someone helps you, your brain creates a new connection. It says, oh, not that way, this way.
And that connection is strong because you felt something. Maybe you felt a little embarrassed, but that feeling helps you remember.
Exactly. We need to love our mistakes. We should say, yay, I made a mistake. That means I am learning.
Maybe not yay, but we can definitely stop being sad about it.
Right. Think about it this way. The goal is communication, not perfection. If I say, I go store yesterday, do you understand me?
Of course, you went to the store yesterday.
See? Communication happened. The goal was reached. The grammar wasn't perfect, but we connected.
That makes me feel so much better. I think we should all try to be brave learners instead of perfect learners.
I love that. Brave learners. That's the mindset we need.
So we have shadowing for the mouth, chunks for the brain, and bravery for the heart. What else, Charles?
Well, there is one thing I do every single day. I call it the narrative.
The narrative? Like a story?
Yes, I talk to myself.
Charles, people will think you are crazy.
Maybe, but I do it in my head or when I'm alone in the car. I describe my life as it happens in English.
Give me an example.
Okay, I'm in the kitchen. I don't just think, apple. I think, okay, I'm going to make some breakfast. I need a knife to cut this apple. Oh, where is the butter? Ah, here it is.
Wow, so you are narrating your actions.
Exactly. I'm connecting my real life to English words. I'm not looking at a book. I'm looking at my life.
That is so powerful because when you actually need to speak to someone, you have already practiced those sentences 1,000 times in your head.
Yes. When someone asks, what did you do this morning? I don't have to think. I just remember the story I told myself.
I do something similar. When I'm walking to the bus, I look at people and try to describe them in my head. That man is wearing a blue hat. He looks like he is in a hurry.
That's perfect, Rachel. That's training your brain to observe the world in English.
It's like a game. And because I'm alone, there's no pressure. I can take my time to find the right words.
And if you don't know a word, what do?
I use my phone. I look it up immediately. And because I actually need that word to finish my thought, I remember it forever.
That is the key. You learn words when you need them, not just because they are on a list in the classroom.
It feels more real. It feels like English is a part of me, not just a subject I study on Tuesdays.
That is the biggest secret of all. You have to make English your home.
Your home. I like that. Even if you don't live in an English-speaking country, you can make your home an English space.
Exactly. Change your phone language. Listen to English music while you cook.
Follow English-speaking people on social media.
Surround yourself with the sounds. Even if you aren't listening 100%, your brain is hearing it. It's getting used to the music.
It's called immersion at home, and anyone can do it. It costs $0.
Wow, Charles, we have talked about so much. Let's do a quick recap for our listeners.
Great idea. So tip number 1, shadowing. Speak with a native speaker to train your mouth muscles.
Tip number 2, learn in chunks. Don't learn single words, learn whole phrases like, I'm looking forward to.
Tip number 3, be a brave learner. Love your mistakes because they are the path to improvement.
Tip number 4, narrate your life. Talk to yourself in English about what you are doing, seeing, and feeling.
And tip number 5, create an English environment. Change your phone, listen to podcasts, and make English part of your daily home.
These tips are so good, Charles. I feel like if someone does these things for just 10 minutes a day, they will see a huge change.
I agree. It's not about studying for 5 hours once a week. It's about those small daily steps.
Step by step. That's how we climb the mountain.
And remember, everyone, you can do it. Your brain is an amazing machine. It is designed to learn. You just have to give it the right fuel.
And the right gym exercises.
Exactly. We believe in you. Truly. Every time you listen to us, you are already making progress. You are already better than you were yesterday.
That's right. So keep going. Don't give up. The highway is being built right now, even if you don't feel it yet.
We want to hear from you. Tell us in the comments, which tip are you going to try first? Are you going to start shadowing us? Or maybe talk to yourself in the kitchen?
Let us know. We love reading your stories. And please, if this episode helped you, share it with one person, just one. It means the world to us.
Thank you for being part of our English on the Way family. You are doing great.
Yes, you are. Keep practicing, keep smiling, and we will see you in the next episode.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.